Welcome to the United Cast. It's Entertainment Talks podcast for Man United and football. I'm your host Matthew, and today I'm talking about Manchester United's 0-0 draw at home in the Premier League to Manchester City for the Manchester Derby. Interesting game. Interesting in terms of how it turned out. This was a very boring. This was a boring 0-0 where, you know, neither team really seemed like they actually wanted to win this game. When I sort of think back on a lot of the different moments, and neither Man United or Man City really had a clear-cut chance at all. I mean, there was moments of like, oh, player might shoot here or there sort of thing for both teams. You know, Sterling got in a few times. Bruno Fernandes got in a few times. There was a few players that like, oh, they might shoot. Oh, it sort of got blocked or whatever. But no one was like, oh, you know, Rashford's through clear on goal, or oh, Jesus is through clear on goal. There was never really any of those kinds of moments. I mean, both teams had like counter-attack sort of breaks and that kind of thing. Counter-attack sort of breakaways and that sort of thing, but neither team really sort of like, oh, it's, you know, really good shot or whatever. In fact, in terms of shooting, there's something I just want to bring up. We had 11 shots today. Man City had 9. Both teams had 2 shots on target. So in a Manchester derby, there was 4 shots on target altogether, 2 each. I think this is a case where if either team had really gone for it or really tried in the last part of the game or even at the start of the game, this was one of them games where it's like, okay, if there's a moment in this game, someone can go and nick the win kind of thing. But neither team actually went and did that. And I don't know, there was a lot of weird points in this game. I don't know if some of you noticed where like we're passing it around at the back, Man City are passing it around at the back. There was actually a period at the end of the game where, what's their goalkeeper called? It wasn't Ederson that was in goal. Moraes. He had the ball at one point, and he passed it to, I think it was Stones or something at the back. Passed it back to him, passed it to Walker, passed it back to the goalkeeper. And we were doing the same thing as well. There was situations where it was like, Maguire passes to De Gea, De Gea passes to Lindelof, he passes to Wan-Bissaka, he passes it back to Maguire, and it's sort of like, why is... I suppose that the biggest question and mystery of this whole game is why did neither team really go for it? Because they didn't. I think this was a very, very, very equal game, where I don't know if it's like both teams are scared, both teams have been in relatively the same form. Man City haven't been that great this season. I mean, we usually in the last couple of years we've looked at two teams and think like, oh, you know, Man City, Liverpool going to sort of battle it out for the title, and then you'll sort of get a mixture of Tottenham, Chelsea, a little bit of Arsenal, Man United, and maybe Leicester for like the top 4 sort of positions, but Man City and Liverpool will be sort of battling it out for the title. That's been the last couple of seasons, like the 2019 and the 2020 season, the one that just finished on the one before. But this season, Man City have fallen off a bit. The season before that, they fell off a little bit. Ever since they won the last title, they've sort of fallen off a little bit. And of course, we've been falling off for 7 years. But I don't know. This is weird. You'd have thought that like either Pep or Ole, more likely Pep, would have said like, hey, you know, this is the Manchester derby. It's gonna be a cagey game. It's gonna be a game where both teams are kind of equal in a way, I suppose. But I saw the team news come out today. I saw Lindelof, Maguire, I saw Pogba in there, and I thought I don't know. I was particularly nervous. I think this is the first game in a very long time where we've defended well. I can't believe I'm even saying that on the podcast, because my major complaints, and most Man United fans' major complaints over the last couple of months, has been we defend really, really terribly. I think it was almost a situation where I don't think we played too defensively, because we had a back 4, we had Fred in front of them, and then McTominay and Pogba sort of on the left and right side of them, then Fernandes up front with Greenwood and Rashford in front of them, or I guess Fernandes behind those two a little bit. So it wasn't like the Leipzig game where we have 2 holding midfielders and 5 defenders, where you're basically playing 7 defensive players. We had more of an attacking formation today, but we seemed to be really focusing on, okay, let's keep everyone back a little bit, and let's try and just defend and almost like hold out for the win. And it almost felt like Man City did the same thing. I don't know, in terms of mentality and urgency to get the win, and a want for the win, and a sort of nervousness to kind of go for it. I think they were completely equal, both teams today. And I just think that if either Man United had stepped up, they would have won the game. And if Man City had stepped up, they would have won the game. This was one of them games where, like, if someone just takes that moment, finds that pass, scores a goal, you nick the game. Or you force the other team to sort of change their philosophy, or their sort of tactics and stuff. One thing I do want to point out, as much as I like Rashford, Fernandes and Greenwood, I don't think having them three up front really works, or having Bruno as a 10 and then having Greenwood and Rashford as like a paired striker partnership. I don't think that works all that well. Nothing to do with the players. Like, I just don't think like the players' ability in those positions. I just don't think pairing those particular players up in that particular way actually works very well. There was just a lot of opportunities where like the three of them were quite isolated in this game, and there was a lot of times where either of the three of them had the ball and nobody was really next to them. Because I think we should have gone for either a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 today, and tried to go for it a bit more. I do think that we missed the likes of Cavani in this game. I think he's currently out injured, which is a big shame. I think he's been stepping up lately. Free Van de Beek, has been talked about today, been trending a little bit, that sort of thing. It's a mystery, isn't it, Van de Beek? Why doesn't he? I don't think that Ollie wanted him, really, because if you want a player, you put them out there more. Because I think you could have either replaced McTominay or Pogba with Van de Beek today. I think. I don't know. He always seems to just be on the bench. He started 2 games since he's arrived, I think. He started the Leipzig game, I think, and there was one against... No, he only started 1 game? Because the other game I was thinking of was his debut, but I'm pretty sure that he came on and scored, because he did score in his debut, didn't he? The 3-1 Palace defeat at the start of the season. No, but the only game I can remember him starting is, I think, the recent one against Leipzig, where I think it was Pogba, Matic, Rashford, Martial, Greenwood and Van de Beek. I think that was the team. I might have that wrong, so let me know if I do. But yeah, pretty equal game. No team really going for it. I don't know. There seemed to be this like really equal nerves kind of thing. I was like, oh, should we go for it? If we go for it, we might lose. And I just don't really expect that from... I expect that less from Manchester City more than Man United, because we've tended to try and be more defensive and failed at it. Because we've usually gone with the 4-2-3-1 with 2 holding midfielders in front of their back too. But yeah, interesting stuff anyway. I am a little bit disappointed because I do think that we should have gone for it and sort of won, but we haven't lost, which is good. It's a big Manchester derby. We haven't lost. That is a good thing. But I just think that we could have nicked it today. I just think that we needed to make a couple of changes. Maybe bring Martial on earlier, get Van de Beek on, maybe even someone like Mata in this game. Bring a couple of those sorts of players on and really try and nick the game, but we didn't. So it is what it is. But let's get into a little bit of housekeeping, and then we'll get into player ratings, which I don't actually have too much to say, but we'll do them nonetheless. I'll see you in a minute. Hi there, and thanks very much for listening. Today I'm here to tell you about our 2 different affiliate links, the first of which is our Amazon affiliate link. That's where you can shop on Amazon. We can get a small cut of what you spend, but it won't cost you anything extra. So whether you're getting a gift for somebody else or treating yourself, or maybe both depending on the occasion, we can get a small cut of what you spend, but it won't cost you extra. You can find the link to our Amazon affiliate link in your show notes. The second affiliate link for today is our Kualu affiliate link. If you want to get started with a website and a domain name of your choice, you can simply sign up with Kualu using the link in the show notes. They also have a live chat support system that's in the bottom right hand corner as well. So if you need help with getting set up, Kualu will be able to help you with that as well. The links for both of these can be found in your show notes for Kualu and the Amazon affiliate link. If you would like to get the ad-free versions of Entertainment Talks podcast and support us along the way, you can simply sign up over on our Patreon page. You can sign up either as a creator or as a patron. There's no difference there for the time being. And you can get your ad-free podcasts over there. It's a great way to support us on Entertainment Talk and to get rid of the ads and get your ad-free podcasts. You can also support Entertainment Talk on Patreon at the $3 level tier. This gets you a chance to request a review from us of your favourite TV show or film, but it's one per month, so one TV show or film review per month. It's up to you which one you want to choose. We will watch a few episodes of the TV show that you choose, or of course if it's a film, we'll just watch that film and we will review that for you on that month. And then when it gets to the next month, you can request a new TV show or a film review of your choice. That's $3 level tier. That does also of course include your ad-free podcasts for the month as well. Thank you very much for listening and enjoy the rest of the show. Alright, recently on Entertainment Talk, Star Trek Discovery is still continuing, Season 3, Episode 9. That is the first part of a double episode. The next episode for that will be next week. But Season 3, Episode 9 is the latest for Star Trek Discovery. Getting better and better every week, that show. Really, really enjoying it at the moment. Spider-Man 3 had a whole bunch of casting news. Some rumours, some confirmed. I talked about all of them in this particular podcast and talked about how there's a lot of good things going on for that film, but there could be a few things that might not work as well, and just a few ideas I don't particularly like and that kind of thing. We don't know how the film's going to turn out yet because we haven't even seen a trailer or anything, but just based on casting news and what it looks like they're doing with that film. So it was called Spider-Man 3, the 2021 version. It doesn't have a title yet, so I couldn't give it one. And the good and the bad of what they look to be doing for that film. So talked about that. Man United 3-2 Leipzig defeat, talked about that. This week on Gaming Talk, we talked about Neil Druckmann being promoted at Naughty Dog, so congratulations to him and everything he did with Last of Us and Naughty Dog and everything. There were some big departures at BioWare, so we talked about those, and we also had just a general big discussion about Cyberpunk 2077. That was before the game came out, and we talked about the sort of reviews and what we can kind of expect and what we want from the game, all that sort of thing. So we talked about all that. What else we got here? Let's Play Sundays for Crash Bandicoot 4. Chat podcast for this month, talking about the success of November 2020 and the success of the Walking Dead podcast. Again, thanks everybody very much for listening to those and making those become a success. That's really, really good. Also talks about some COVID frustrations as well. Of course, the whole thing is frustrating, but some specific frustrations around COVID as well, and that's pretty much what we've been doing. Oh yeah, Walking Dead World Beyond's finished for its first season. We've talked about that, and we've talked about Fear the Walking Dead for its mid-season finale recently as well. And we did a TV talk, so check out everything that we've got on entertainmenttalk.org. I'm kind of tempted to just give everybody like an average 6 because nobody really had a particularly bad game. Nobody had a particularly amazing game. I would almost give all 22 players, including the City team, just an average 6, because every player was just on this middle level in this game. It was almost really weird. It's like no one's really stepping up. No one's really making any mistakes. Sure, there were some passes that got misplaced and some good passes, some half chances created, but nobody stepped up in this game. Neither a Man City player or a Man United player, and nobody really sort of like let us down. And there's no one to sort of like. I suppose if I'm okay, who would I blame? I suppose for this draw. I mean, I don't mean to put the blame on the manager every week, but I think there's certain changes you could have made in the second half, like if you'd used more than one of your subs. Because let me look at the subs. Yeah, it was just Greenwood for Martial, wasn't it? So on the bench, just for those of you that don't know, or just to read the bench, we had Bailey, Mata, Martial, Henderson, Telles, Matic, Van de Beek. I think if you get to the second half, you take off. I think Rashford was having a worse game than Greenwood, but just neither of them really standing out. I just would have taken Rashford off. I think he was slightly worse. I would have taken Rashford off for Martial, so that you got Martial and Greenwood up front. I would have taken off probably McTominay for Van de Beek, and I would have taken off maybe Pogba for Mata, I think. Obviously, if Fred's injury, which he kind of had in this game, is sort of shook off, if that injury was like bad enough to where he had to be taken off, I probably would have taken Fred off for Matic at that point. Yeah, and had him as a holding player. But I just felt that you could have, I don't know, take Rashford off, Pogba off, McTominay off, leave Fernandes and Fred on, because Fred was fine after a little while, and bring Mata, Martial and Van de Beek on. Yeah, because I think Shaw had a really good game today. So I wouldn't have. I mean, Tellers is a good option, but you could have. I don't know. Maybe you could have stuck him on the left wing somewhere, or he's a very attacking player, isn't he? So maybe you could have done something there. But I don't know. Yeah. So David De Gea, tempted to give everybody an average 6. I don't think the defence was bad today. I actually do think. I know I pick on Lindelof and Maguire a lot because they do tend to play really badly. I give them an average 6. I think I would just give... I mean, if I'm going to give everyone an average 6, my man of the match... I think I might give it to Shaw. I mean, he had to deal with the change of Mahrez coming off and that Torres player coming on. Torres looked pretty sharp. I think it's Ferran Torres, not Fernando Torres. I think he's actually retired from football. Ferran Torres, he came on. So Shaw's got like something a bit different to deal with there, so... I think I would just give, I mean, you've got to put him up to maybe a 7, give everybody else kind of an average 6, but everybody just had an average game. I don't know what else to sort of tell you. But yeah, I think I'd maybe just, I think Shaw just kind of dealing with that, his left-hand side, City's right-hand side. I think he played really well today. I think De Gea had a good game, Wan-Bissaka had a good game, Lindelof and Maguire were good, which is something I didn't expect to say this week. Or really ever again necessarily, because they've been so bad lately. But you know what, they were all right in this game. They were good. They didn't let any goals in. They dealt with everything that came at them. Shaw was great. Fred was great. Yeah, McTominay, Pogba, Fernandes, Greenwood, Rashford. They're all really great. So I don't really know what else to do or what else to say about that. So I don't feel like I should give anybody lower than a 6, and I don't feel like I should necessarily give anybody above a 6 because nobody stepped up. It's pretty much as simple as that. I mean, Fernandes had a good game again, because he always does. Pogba was sharper today. Pogba was his sort of... I'm still going to give him a 6. He had one of his sort of 8 out of 10 games. I know I've spoken about this before, and I've seen it spoken about in the fan base. With Pogba, you either get like a 2 out of 10, or you get an 8 out of 10. Like a 2 or below out of 10, where he's like really, really, really bad. Or you get sort of an 8 plus out of 10, so either like an 8 or 9 or 10 out of 10. And he plays really, really well. He didn't... I've described it before in the past, how sometimes with Pogba's movement, he can move like he's got bricks in his boots. Didn't move like that today. He actually moved fluidly with the ball, which was... It's good to see. I mean, he needs to leave because he's disrespected the club, and so has his agent. I think I spoke about that in the last episode with Mino Raiola. So he still needs to leave, but yeah, I mean, he had a better game. So, don't know what else to say. But yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts on this game. I don't really think there's anything else to pick out. I think that both teams just went in cautious with a bit of fear, and nobody really outclassed anybody today. I mean, it was 0-0, so yeah, nobody did outclass anybody today. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think I'm misreading the game maybe? Do you think I should be giving some different player ratings, that kind of thing? I mean, I'm just giving you my opinion, so that is what that is. What do you think of Lindelof and Maguire stepping up a little bit more today? Do you think somebody had a word with them? Do you think something happened with them? Maybe they've trained a bit better? Yeah, and all your thoughts on the other players. Let me know. Matthew at entertainmenttalk.org, Twitter eTalkUK. There's a contact page and information in your show notes. It is a shame. I am disappointed, because I do think that they were there for the taking. So were we as well. So were Manchester United. Man City could have done the same thing. It's like both teams had the option to go for it and neither team did, and there's no real reason as to why. It's almost like what's that phrase? Like sitting around the poker table. They both got cards in their hands. Like Pep's got cards in his hands, Ollie's got cards in his hands. They're both staring at each other and like, oh, could do this, could do that, could put this card down, could do this or that, and they both just stare at each other for 90 minutes. That's sort of like what it was. I think the players did the same thing as well. So very, very strange, definitely. I think that's one word I want to take away from this game. Very strange. Just, I don't know, weird. Very, very weird. The next game, I think, is on Thursday next week. Let me just quickly check that. If I go to my Sky Sports app, Sunday the 12th, Thursday the 17th. Yes, Sheffield United away. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. Away at 8 o'clock on Thursday, so I'll be back on Thursday nights, which I'll be doing a lot next year anyway, so, or at least for 2 weeks next year, depends on how far we get in the Europa League. But let me just look. My team, scroll down, Premier League table. So we are sitting 7th at the moment. We are on 20 points, and the 2 teams above us, West Ham and Southampton. How did West Ham get up to 5th? They're on 20 points, and then Leicester on 21, Chelsea on 22, Liverpool on 24, and Tottenham on 24 as well. But those teams haven't played yet. West Ham have played. They've played their 12th game. Remember, we've got a game in hand as well. So Southampton, Leicester, Chelsea, Liverpool and Tottenham have all got their 12th games to play. We do as well, but they will be playing. I think they're all playing either tomorrow or they haven't played yet this week. Let's just check Sheffield United. They are at the bottom. They haven't won a game yet this season. Interesting. Very interesting. We struggled against West Brom. They've got 1 win this season and 3 draws. They've only got 5 more points than Sheffield United, but you know what? Sometimes some of these teams can come and surprise you. So we will see what happens with that. Let me go back to scores. Yeah, 8 o'clock for that. Don't know when our next game is after that. Sunday the 20th of December, Leeds at home. I wondered when we play Leeds. I wonder when we're playing Liverpool as well. Let me just scroll to the week after that. Everton is the week after that, Wednesday the 23rd. Did we play Liverpool before the year finishes? Leicester, that's on the what does that say? 26th of December. That's at 12:30. And then, no, it usually comes up with a game. Sorry, I'm just trying to scroll through my app here and look at the fixtures. Wolves on Tuesday the 29th December at home. These games are all pretty close together, aren't they? And then Saturday the 2nd of January. So we haven't got Liverpool this year. That's really weird. Is that because the season started later or something? I don't know. Villa at home on Saturday the 2nd of January. Then I'm trying to find out when we've got Liverpool here. Let's go to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Watford. I don't know when we've got Liverpool. Let's keep scrolling. It's got to be either like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday or Sunday. Fulham. Maybe Liverpool a forfeited defeat. Oh, there we go. Saturday the 16th of January we're away to Liverpool, so that will be a fun one. Thanks everybody very much for listening. Again, like I said, if you want to let me know your thoughts, feelings, questions, comments, concerns about Manchester United or anything related to Entertainment Talk, Matthew at entertainmenttalk.org, Twitter eTalkUK, there's contact page and information in your show notes. I'll be back on Thursday to see what happens against Sheffield United. And we'll go from there. In the meantime, you can find everything that we do on entertainmenttalk.org. If you like to support the podcast, if you like what we've heard today and want to support Entertainment Talk, there's lots of different options for you. The Patreon page, you can check out the $1 and $3 level tiers for ad-free podcast and review options. Word of mouth, you can simply just tell people that you know about the website and the iTunes feed or us on podcast services and tell them to find the content. Social media, you can do the same thing but through Facebook and Twitter and different Facebook groups. or whatever social media you're using. The Geektown Awards, just thought I'd mention them again. I don't know when the voting closes. I'll have to ask David when that is. But you can currently still go and vote. If you go to geektown.co.uk/awards, vote for your favourite TV shows, films and games and for 2020 and your most anticipated TV shows, films and games of 2021. There isn't anything football related in that, so you can't vote on your favourite players or whatever. But TV, video games, films for 2020 and most anticipated for 2021. Geektown.co.uk/awards. If you just check the different boxes for different categories, put your email and your name in, submit that as well. Don't forget to check out geektown.co.uk for your up-to-date reliable TV and film news. If you want weekly podcast for the Geektown radio, that's on Tuesdays, either on podcast services or on geektown.co.uk. Over on Twitch, Bex is streaming daily at the moment over there. On Twitch, that's Trista Bytes, Trista Bytes, some fun geeky chatter, gaming, and all sorts of other fun stuff as well. Trista Bytes, Trista Bytes on Twitch. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, you can do so. eTalk UK if you want to see what I would do with the Manchester United team, where I do go for it. I do try and win the game, unlike what we did today. But eTalk UK, if you want to check that out, going to be streaming some Last of Us, some Crash eventually as well. Got lots of different games to stream, and of course Cyberpunk is here as well. I haven't got my copy yet, but I will have soon, so I'll be streaming that at some point in the future as well. But just follow me on Twitch, eTalk UK for that. And lastly, have a look out for Let's Play Sunday episodes. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on Thursday, or whenever we do something next. See you next time. Goodbye.